So back in 2001, I had the opportunity to do Def Poetry with Dave Chapelle, and that show was special. You know, it was like 30 poets selected to be on the show. So to be one of the 30 of the tens of thousands that was trying to get on it was incredible. So I meet Dave at Def Poetry. So then later on, I move out the next year. I remember me and Cootie being out, and it was like 4 in the morning. I remember we went to this tweet. It was like a tweet listening party, and we left the tweet listening party. Then one of the homies was getting hot dogs, and me and Cootie standing outside. It was like 3, 4 in the morning. Me and Cootie out talking, and then like some group of dudes walk past, and then Cootie like, yo, that dude look like Dave Chapelle. So I didn't see him, you know. I was like, oh, word? So I'm like, yo, Dave. I'm like, if it's him, it's him. If it ain't, it ain't. And it was him. He turned around. So I walk up to him. I was like, Dave, what up, man? I was like, I'm Jay Ivy, man. I was like, I did Def Poetry with you. He was like, yeah, I remember you. You was one of my favorite poets. I was like, I wanted to elbow Cootie, like, why this dude gassing me up, man? You know, he's like, yeah, you did that poem. I need to write. I was like, yeah, like, yeah, that was me. So then after that, we kind of got cool. And I remember we would go to the Chappelle show or go to when he was filming some of the skits. Me and Cootie, we went, and I remember we were standing on the set. We just got there, and we didn't see Dave. And then he was like, oh, dang, he got Lil Jon. You know, what? Okay. You know, yeah, he doing all that. And then we was like, that ain't Lil Jon. That ain't Lil Jon. That's Dave. What? Okay. So he doing all that. I'm like, you know, so we cracking up. So then he's like, oh man. He's like, I want y'all to I want to show y'all something. He's like, it's a rough. He's like, but I want to show y'all. So he take us into the edit. And he show us like an early cut of the Rick James, you know, of the Charlie Murphy joints. We in there blown away, like blown away. So then this was around the time Kanye record was coming out, and Kanye was doing a show at Webster Hall. So I was like, Dave, I was like, you know, it'd be crazy. I was like, man, it'd be wild if you was a college dropout bear at the concert, like if you came out as a dropout bear. So I ain't think nothing. I just threw it out there, right? That night at the concert, college dropout bear come out. Everybody like, oh, you know, dropout bear. And then he took the head off, and it was him. Everybody lost their mind, man. It was wild. It was wild. I was like, damn, he actually did that. Like it was just a dope moment. It was a dope moment. Here's a wild moment from my college dropout. I called it my Never Let Me Down tour. That's what I called it. So this is a wild moment from my Never Let Me Down tour days about this this individual I came across. And this ain't got nothing to do with the Jeen-Yuhs days, but what happened. Because of college dropout and Def Poetry, I started doing a lot of colleges. So the craziest thing that ever happened with me was, so I go to do this show I think it was in North Carolina. I forget what school. So I go do the school, and I just finished doing like promos for Def Poetry. So they had this commercial running on HBO all the time. And then when I get to the school, these students, they picked me up, and they were like, man, you know some girl from Tennessee? I'm like, nah. I was like, yeah, well, and B. Cole was on the show. It was me and B. Cole. And she's like, well, we asked B. Cole. He got in early. We asked him if he knew this girl from Tennessee, and he didn't know her. So I'm like, nah, that's B. Cole. I don't know no girl from Tennessee, whatever. So then later on the show, and we standing backstage, and it was like, you know, glass doors behind us, like one of them cafeterias that they build a stage and put curtains up or whatever. So we standing by the back door, and there's like some students trying to get in. So I'm opening the door like, oh yeah, come on, check out the show. I want the joint packed. Come on in. So a couple kids come in. So then there's one girl come in, and then the students that picked me up start rushing over. Like, no, you gotta go. And I'm looking at the girl like, I'm like, oh, this old girl they was talking about. And then they like, you gotta go right now. You gotta get out of here. So then she like pushes this gift bag into my hand. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, for whatever reason, in the Def Poetry commercial, I said something about, they asked, what's poetry? And me and Tari, we had gone out to Santa Monica Beach, and there was dolphins swimming out like you go out there early, you'll see dolphins. And so when they asked me the question, I was like, poetry is like dolphins swimming in the wild. So the girl had like little toy dolphins in the joint. Then she had like this book of poems that she wrote, but the poems were like she was talking about blood and it got real like crazy or whatever, right? And I take out your girl for you, and like it was like some crap. I'm like, yeah, like okay. So then the security later on they kick her out, and security came and gave me a dollar bill with her number and stuff on it. Like she was staying at this hotel, and here's her number, call her, whatever. Man, I got to, and she had drove from Tennessee to the joint. And I'm picturing later on, I'm picturing the astronaut girl with the with the diaper on. Like she drove straight there, and then I did the show. Man, I called my mom's after. I'm like, yeah, mom, like yeah, this girl came through and gave me this book and got all this crazy stuff in here. She was like, you need to leave right now. You need to leave right now. Get out of town right now. Man, I went straight to the Greyhound, and that was that. And I ain't see old girl again, thank God.